Everything you believe about yourself has been slowly programmed into your mind through years of invisible social conditioning you never consciously agreed to. From childhood, you were taught what is right, what is wrong, and what parts of yourself should be hidden from the world. But what if the parts you were told to suppress actually hold the deepest power within you, waiting to be reclaimed? What if your discomfort, fear, and inner resistance are not weaknesses but signals pointing toward a higher level of awareness? Most people spend their lives trying to control their mind, but very few learn how to go beyond it completely. This is where the deeper path begins, not by escaping yourself, but by understanding and transforming what you have been avoiding. Your personality is not entirely natural, but shaped by repeated social feedback that trained you to behave in acceptable ways. You learn to adjust your thoughts, emotions, and actions to fit into the expectations of others around you. Over time, this created a version of you that feels safe but is not fully real or complete. Every time you suppress a natural impulse, your brain strengthens the habit of self-control through avoidance. This process slowly builds a system where you no longer notice what you are holding back inside. That hidden tension becomes part of your identity, even though it was never truly yours. Your nervous system becomes trained to avoid discomfort instead of exploring it with awareness. This avoidance limits your ability to experience life directly without filtering everything through fear or judgment. You begin living through layers of interpretation instead of raw and immediate experience. This is how your internal prison is formed, not by force, but through constant subtle conditioning. When you suppress an impulse, your brain connects that impulse with discomfort and creates a pattern of avoidance. This creates a feedback loop where you automatically move away from anything that challenges your comfort zone. Over time, your system starts choosing safety over truth or deeper understanding. The analytical mind becomes dominant, constantly judging and controlling your reactions. But this same control system also limits your ability to see reality clearly. It filters out anything that does not match what you were taught to believe. This is why most people live inside mental patterns instead of experiencing reality directly. The mind becomes a barrier instead of a tool for awareness. To go beyond this, you must move outside the limits of thinking itself. This requires a different approach that works directly with your nervous system. You cannot break conditioning just by thinking differently, because thinking is part of conditioned system itself. Real change begins when you bring awareness into the patterns you usually avoid or suppress. This means facing discomfort without immediately reacting or escaping from it. When you stay present with discomfort, your brain begins to change how it responds. This process is called neuroplasticity, where old patterns slowly lose their strength. As these patterns weaken, new possibilities begin to open within your awareness. Instead of avoiding tension, you start observing it without judgment. This observation creates space between you and your conditioned reactions. In that space, you gain the ability to choose your response consciously. This is the first step towards reclaiming control over your own mind. Your senses provide a direct pathway into reality that does not rely on thinking or interpretation. When you fully engage your senses, your attention naturally shifts away from mental noise. This creates a state where you're experiencing life instead of analyzing it constantly. In this state, your internal reactions become clearer and easier to observe. You begin to notice patterns that were previously hidden beneath your thoughts. The boundary between thinking and experiencing starts to dissolve slowly. This reduces the control of the analytical mind over your awareness and increases your ability to stay fully present in the moment. Presence becomes stronger than mental judgment or fear. This is where deeper levels of consciousness begins to emerge naturally. When you move beyond your comfort zone, your nervous system becomes more active and alert. This activation releases chemicals that increase focus and awareness. Instead of resisting this intensity, you can learn to stay present within it. This changes your relationship with discomfort from fear to curiosity. Your system becomes more flexible and less controlled by automatic reactions. You gain the ability to experience strong emotions without losing awareness. This creates a new balance between control and openness, and opens access to a more primal and natural state of consciousness. Accessing deeper awareness is not about escaping life, but understanding it without distortion. You begin to see clearly how your thoughts and reactions are formed over time. This awareness allows you to act consciously instead of reacting automatically. You are no longer controlled by your conditioning, but aware of it in real time. This creates a sense of freedom that does not depend on external situations. You can live within society while remaining connected to your authentic nature. This is how you reclaim your consciousness and move beyond the limits of conditioning.